do people really think about Aboriginal Australians?
I see them every day drinking.
Get off your arse and do something if you want to escape your plight.
I don't think you can just uproot culture.
Years they'd lived in harmony on their land.
Frankly, it should have died out, like the Stone Age.
I don't connect to that. It's their land and we've taken it from them. Happened a long time ago. We all need to move on.
There's just been too much BS about Aboriginality, culture.
We love to be disrespectful to other people's culture and races. It's almost like sport.
6 out of 10 Australians have had little or no contact with Indigenous people. This group of well-known Australians represents that 6 out of 10. All with strong opinions, they've agreed to leave their everyday lives behind and embark on a unique journey deep into Aboriginal Australia.
Here we go, people.
Actress Nikki Went.
All I know is that if I'm in a mall and there's 30 black guys and me, I'm frightened.
Singer-songwriter Natalie Imbruglia.
I want to get the truth. I don't just want to be spoon-fed an opinion.
Television personality Ian Dicko Dixon.
What happens if I find out I'm just a dirty big racist?
Former Miss Universe Australia Renee Ayres.
I've been spat on, I've been abused, and that's all I've seen from them.
Comedian Tom Ballard.
We live in a progressive society, and progressive societies care about the most vulnerable and disadvantaged people.
Former One Nation politician David Oldfield.
Aboriginality is just unnecessary. It's not really in the best interests of Aboriginal people.
Guiding this group of outspoken Aussies is award-winning journalist Ray Martin.
These 6 people have no idea where they're going or what's in store for them.
Get it off him!
But given their strong opinions...
Taking someone on face value is evidence.
It's certainly going to be challenging, if not confronting.
Enough is enough.
If you feel uncomfortable with me being here, I will just as happily leave your land.
On the first leg of their immersive journey, the 6 saw the ravages of alcohol in the Kimberley.
Wayne, I thought he could have been dead.
Their views were challenged.
That's probably one of the most resilient human beings I've ever met in my life.
Next, tempers frayed in one of the most remote corners of Australia.
In the Constitution, this country is so racist.
It doesn't mention races.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they had white people in mind.
Now you're talking about what they had in mind.
Just being negative again. It's just so boring.
Tonight, the journey becomes even more intense.
You're not going to change a freaking thing.
The 6 experience the harsh realities of life in an impoverished community.
Probably the worst toilets in Australia.
I feel sick.
Then, emotions are pushed to the limit.
I mean, how is that right?
As the 6 discover Australia's dark past.
Boys were chained to this tree right there, mate.
I just feel sick.
The 6 have no idea what awaits them on the next stage of their immersive journey. All they've been told is that they're heading just south of Darwin, where Ray Martin will reveal their destination.
So here we are on the noisy Stuart Highway in the Northern Territory. Almost 3,000 k's of road that goes right up the guts of Australia, as they say around here, from Adelaide to Darwin. Where are you going? Well, you're going to nowhere. You're going to the middle of nowhere, a place that they call the Forgotten Town. For the next couple of days, you're going to discover what it's like to live in overcrowded housing. As many as 25 people living under one roof. Again, I guess, Nikki, for you, it's your worst nightmare?
Possibly.
It's going to be quite a shock to me. It's definitely not something I've seen before.
I didn't know at all that that was going on, to be honest with you, so I think it'll be a shock, but I wanted to see an honest view of all of the Aboriginal people in Australia, so this is part of it, so bring it on.
David, I've got a report here from the UN in 2006 in which they described the housing for Indigenous people as amongst the worst in the world. As an Australian, is that shameful that we allow that?
I don't know the circumstances as to why it is like that. So the circumstances will determine for me whether it's shameful or whether it is something else.
You've got about another 6 hours travelling to nowhere, so let's go.
The group heads south towards the tiny town of Elliot, halfway between Darwin and Alice Springs. For all of them, this is a long way from home in every sense.
I just downsized, me and my wife, in a 6-bedroom house with 4 bathrooms.
That's you downsized?
Yeah, no,
Wow.
to a 3-bedroom house.
I've got 3 stories and I'm on my own. And I feel cramped when there's lots of, you know, guests coming through, so...
It sounds to me pretty gruesome, but let's wait until we get there.
Yeah.
I think we need to see some reality, even if it's gruesome. You know, I welcome that.
I'm actually I'm kind of scared of the real people.
The town of Elliot lies right beside the Stewart Highway. Around 400 Aboriginal people live here, many in some of the most disadvantaged conditions in the Western world. For the next 2 days, the group will live here with a local family.
Hello.
Hello.
How you going?
Welcome to Elliot. My name's Kayleen. I'm SK. My real name's Suzanne Kenny Jackson. This is where I live. We're very overcrowded.
How long have you been here?
All my life in Elliot.
Yeah?
No worries. Well, you're welcome to come inside.
Thank you.
Have a look.
SK lives in her 4-bedroom house with 13 members of her family. There's not space for much else.
Where's your table?
There's so many of us. We don't have furniture in here. There's no room. Our bedroom is very, very small. We haven't got cupboards, boxes, crates.
So do you live together, this many people, by choice, or have you tried to get another house? Could you get another house?
We're struggling with housing. We have a big housing issue.
Why is that? What's happened?
Well, there's no new houses that's been built for the last 15 years. Community of Elliot are still struggling to get the government down here and see how we live so they can build more houses for us, because my grandkids are going to grow up, remarry, have kids. They'll probably still be living with me.
But for one of the group, overcrowding's not the main problem in Elliot.
All the rubbish everywhere, why doesn't anyone pick it up? And there's rubbish everywhere, like just obvious dropped rubbish. Bottles, cans, every conceivable artefact of what Australians and people generally refer to as litter. And like in enormous amounts. It's not 1 or 2 things. Well, why isn't anybody picking any of it up?
It's not my rubbish. I'm not going to go and pick up everybody else's rubbish down the
But
road.
all the rubbish that's on your property, whose rubbish is that then?
That's mine.
Well, why aren't you picking that up?
I'll pick it up when I'm rough and ready. You don't come in and tell me to keep my house clean.
No, I'm not. I'm just asking you why
I'll
you
pick
don't.
it up when I'm ready.
I'm just asking you why
I
you
have
don't.
so many people living in here.
Yeah.
Me and my sister was up all night trying to get this house ready for you guys.
Let's
But
take
you
what he
wouldn't
said
want
and
me
move
coming,
on.
going to your place and telling you how to live, okay?
Well, if you came to my
This
place,
is
you
how-
wouldn't find any rubbish to start with, because we pick it up.
It's going to be a long day if you carry on like this.
Well, I'm not carrying on like anything, mate, just because you're willing to turn a blind eye to
no,
the
do you know
obvious,
what?
mate.
Just
It's not
back off.
about being a
Just back
blind
off a
eye.
minute.
It's about looking how we live.
back
Not
off.
for your judgment, mate.
Well, why are we here then?
Not your judgment.
Why are you
We won't accept your judgment.
This is an Aboriginal community.
So how do you talk to a lady, a woman like that?
No, just asking
Do
you
you talk to your
questions.
mother like that?
No, my mother
No, you
doesn't
don't.
drop crap everywhere.
So don't you?
Well, if
Don't
this
you
is
talk
crap,
to me like
get
that?
out of my house. I don't want you here.
No worries.
Get out and
You're a
stay out.
man.
Oh yeah, we apologise.
You don't have to apologise. It's not you. I'm not going to accept his apologies. He can get out of my house.
With David banished, the rest of the group discover how SK and her family cope. The situation here is extreme, but around a quarter of all Aboriginal people live in overcrowded houses.
There's a baby in the first room too.
Yeah,
isn't there?
baby.
Yeah.
But the 3. Then you got 5 in the middle room. Couple with 3 kids. Then you got another couple here with 1 kid. So that's 11 altogether.
But Tom decides to seek David out and hear what he has to say.
If the Australian government built these people another 50 houses, all they'd do is bring in more people, spread them out a bit more, have a few less in each house, and it'll all still look the same. There'd just be more trashed homes, more garbage. Did you hear any of it, Tom?
Do you think they might have some other priorities in their life?
Oh, other priorities, mate. Get a life yourself.
But I just had more of a conversation than the 4 questions that we had in that initial room, David. I just wanted to find out a bit more information. You don't know anything about what I'm making of this.
Did you see how dirty the house was? And they cleaned it up before we came.
I agree with you. This is not ideal for anyone to live in whatsoever.
What you're doing is looking for nothing but excuses.
No, I'm just looking to find out more.
They can't clean up their own yard, mate.
They're trying their best, okay?
This is the fucking problem. This is the fucking problem, Tom. People like you, right, who don't know anything about it.
To connect people
Feel
with other
sorry
people.
for them for 5 minutes, then take your heart out and put it over there and put your brain to work to how you can actually help them. Because all you're going to do is have a heart and feel sorry. You're not going to change a freaking thing, not one thing.
I've reached no conclusions about this whatsoever.
Mate,
I don't know how to fix this either.
You're not cutting through.
With Tom and David at loggerheads, SK takes some of the others around town.
This is Marianne.
Hi, Marianne.
She's the tenant of this house.
So how long you live here?
Oh,
so long. Long time?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Marianne lives with her family, including her disabled elderly sister Peggy and her infirm brother-in-law.
You're a bit shy.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Then they will go through my house and look, and then try and look your house, nah? So they got a fair idea how we live our community. Well, you're taking us inside, Andy?
Yeah.
Shower, toilet.
Thank you.
She'll take us around.
After being welcomed inside, Dicko soon discovers overcrowding isn't the only problem in Elliot.
This is quite unbelievable. Come, Nikki, well, look at this.
No.
Look at the state of this. This is unbelievable to think that someone in what is effectively housing commission, so it's someone, housing authority somewhere has got a responsibility for this house, would leave this, which is a little old lady's bathroom, in such a state. It's criminal, really. I mean, look, the toilet, it's just absolutely decrepit. It just defies belief. It's probably the worst toilet in Australia.
Marianne pays a small amount of rent to live here. But like many residents in Elliot, she's been waiting a long time for basic repairs and maintenance to her home.
You haven't got another toilet and shower indoors?
No.
So this is the only
toilet
facility you have?
Yeah, outdoors, yeah.
It's shocking, isn't it?
That's terrible. Absolutely awful.
Before starting this journey, Dicko had strong views on Aboriginal people needing to drag themselves out of their plight.
Everyone's capable of getting off their arse and taking responsibility for their own life and the people around them. Everyone is.
But after seeing firsthand what life can look like for the most disadvantaged, Dicko's opinion is starting to shift.
It's hard to believe I'm in Australia.
Can't believe it.
You know what you talk to most people in cities? A lot of white people will say, oh, Aboriginals here, they just get given free houses, loads of handouts, loads of support. It appears to me you don't get all the support you need. I mean, it's not even about luxuries, it's just about the basics. It's unbelievable.
Yep.
Dicko's not the only one who's confronted. Until recently, Nikki's sympathy for Aboriginal people was very much in doubt.
I don't hate them. I don't love them. But maybe I don't care or think enough about them. There's cracks in the wall. The air conditioners are all looking like they're about to fall out of the walls. They're all being held up outside with Milo tins and stuff. There's no door on this bedroom. There is an elderly man sleeping here who has a walking frame and all of that. He clearly is disabled and should not be living like this. I'm sorry, this is awful. If there was a white person in Sydney or Melbourne or Perth or Brisbane living like that, you know, it would be... If one tile was loose and a toilet seat had come off, it would get attention. This is unforgivable.
Really depressing.
I have been in houses in Asia, different parts of Asia, in India, where I would expect to see third and fourth world conditions, but I haven't seen anything that was as appalling as that. That was... I can't believe people are living there. And I particularly can't believe old people are living there. You know, they're tribal elders.
And Natalie, who's travelled to some of the poorest parts of Africa for charity work, wasn't prepared for what she's seen in her own country.
I didn't think I'd see people living this rough, to be honest. I mean, I was prepared to see the alcoholism and the domestic violence and poverty, but not this level of lack of care. So to be in Australia and see people living in those conditions is really shocking to me. Shocking.
I'm going to show you guys where I live, okay?
Oh, good.
Meanwhile, David's rejoined the group, and along with Tom and Renee, he's met up with another of Elliot's residents, local tradie Adrian.
This is where you grew up, Adrian?
Elliot.
You grew up in Elliot?
Yeah, I grew up in Elliot, but not here.
Adrian lives on the outskirts of Elliot with his wife and 3 young children.
Welcome to my black fella door.
Thank you very much for your black fella door. Appreciate it.
It's not pretty spaceful, but this is all you guys. Yeah. And, my kids fit here.
They sit together. There's three kids?
Yeah, 3 kids.
3 kids, right.
How old are the kids?
My oldest one is 4.
So little kids.
Yeah, little kids. So they can fit in there.
Yeah.
This is what he looked like inside.
Adrian is one of the few residents in Elliot to rent his home privately. He pays his landlord $100 a week, and for him, this place is a sanctuary for his family.
And what is it like living here? I guess for all of us, again, it's just so different from the way we live and how...
It's better than back at the camp.
Yeah?
It's peaceful, quiet.
Right.
I like it.
Yeah.
Despite Adrian's positive outlook, the reality of his situation is almost too much to bear for Tom.
So it's very hard to think of that these kids are living like this all the time, and it's hard to see how it would change. So, but I don't think it's as simple as saying it's personal choice. It's just not. It's not as simple as that. Oh. Thanks.
the first night at Elliot, and with David staying at a local caravan park, SK has a proposition to make to the rest of the group.
I'm going to invite you 5 guys to sleep over. You're most welcome to sleep over if you want to. If you want to experience how to live in an overcrowded house.
Where are you going to put us?
We'll find a way. I can chuck you up the roof.
The roof? No, I'm serious. You haven't got room
You're
for
just
us.
going to say yes or no. We'll find somewhere for you to sleep.
Okay.
But you're welcome to sleep in my overcrowded house just to see what we do.
The offer may have been accepted, but for some, it's all getting a bit much.
I'm never complaining about anything ever again.
And for Nikki and her fellow travellers, their time in Elliot is only just beginning. Monday morning in Elliot, and with 8 children to get up and ready, it's an early start at SK's house.
Tanisha.
Tanisha, where are you? Oh, yeah, you're Tanisha. You need to go to school, baby. Quick, Tanisha, you'll have to wait for second bus. First bus already here. 2 kids in the room. You gotta get up for school. Now, come on. No, you look at the body.
See, that's how to do it. I was way too soft.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna go to school. Come on, you and Taylor gotta have a shower. Wake yourself up first, Tanisha. So this is the main hold-up in the morning is the shower, one shower. So we'll push 2 kids in there, but one has to wait there while the other one have their shower.
Pandemonium, there's kids everywhere. But the school bus is coming pretty soon, so they better get a fair old lick on.
Yeah. Good. Thank you with them and all.
See you later, SK.
Yeah, have a good day at school.
Despite the chaos, Nikki's taken aback that there appears to be method in amongst the madness.
I'm very impressed with how kind of efficient the system was early this morning. Everyone's dressed and ready somehow. Okay. Even us.
This is us.
Yeah, I don't know how it happened, but everyone showered, dressed, on the bus at 7:30, and here we are at school.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, miss.
And there's another surprise in store for Nikki and her fellow travellers. The school here has set the benchmark for remote schools in Australia, reporting student attendance rates as high as 90%.
Right into it this morning, and I'm going to choose someone from Duana class to do a quick count. Tegan.
Good morning, Tegan.
Right, Tegan.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10.
But despite the seeming success story here, something's troubling Nikki.
Why? I don't understand why you're upset.
Nothing's up. I'm not upset. I'm
just
moved
emotional.
by
You
it.
just
I'm
love them.
moved by it. I think that I just wish the best for them. Because you kind of can't help it. Hope they get to stay in their community and stay happy.
They seem happy kids.
No, they are happy kids, but I'm talking about their future. I'm just talking about what have they got that lies ahead. You see them all running around, they're so happy and sweet, and you just think, please God, let them be all right. That's all.
But as the pupils take to the sports field, Nikki's fears are soon allayed. The children sharing their hopes and dreams for the future.
But I couldn't help but notice that you're really good at sport. Would you like to be a professional sportswoman?
I don't know. I want to be a teacher. I want to grow up.
You want to be a teacher? That's good. That's a really good thing to want to be.
Be a teacher.
Teacher?
Yeah. Train driver.
You want to drive? You want to drive a train when you're older, Wallace?
Become a football player.
Who for?
Sydney, a police officer.
Why?
To stop all the fights and all the alcohol.
What about the alcohol?
To protect the community.
Okay.
For Nikki, meeting Elliot's next generation has been a revelation.
I don't know, it's really touched me today. Sweet. When we say, you know, what do you want to be? And they all go, we want to come back here. We want to come to Elliot. They love it here.
On the other side of town, the rest of the group is being put to work by local Gordon Jackson.
There's a high vis as well.
Oh, okay. Ooh.
Gordon and his all-Aboriginal maintenance crew have recently won a government-funded contract to start the major task of fixing up Elliot's decrepit housing.
All right, so this morning we've got a few walls to patch up, and we do have a toilet seat to take out.
That's your job.
Might have to give you a job.
Yeah, oh, I'm used to doing this sort of stuff.
Straight in the back of the truck. So just toss him out.
As David gets his hands dirty, Tom's met up again with Adrian and is finding things slightly more challenging.
Is there a better way for me to be doing this?
Yep. Stand up and up.
Okay. Why did you wait for me to ask before I fucking did that?
Turn around this way, mate.
Okay, and I'll cut back. You do it? Okay. Fucking Adrian. Tell you what. All right.
For Renee, helping patch up one of Elliot's homes is an unlikely opportunity to share her views of Aboriginal people with worker Thomas.
The only experiences I'd had been quite negative in my city in Perth. They would call me some quite horrible names, and I wouldn't even look sideways, and they'd just be like, "You guys," things like that. And then one time I got spat on. No, but I've got to a point now when I see Aboriginals in my city, I will freak out.
Yeah.
And my heart will start pounding, and I'll literally pretend I'm on the phone or something and walk in the other direction. Like, that's how bad it is.
I just hate that one group or that one person just, you know, paints a picture for all Aboriginals. Yeah, that's what I don't like, because, you know, if one Caucasian bloke kills someone, we don't say all white people are crazy, you know, all murderers. So I don't think that one Aboriginal person walking down the street drunk doesn't mean we're all drunks, you know.
As Renee begins to appreciate that things aren't quite as cut and dried as she thinks, David's also having a moment of realisation.
You've got local Aboriginal guys that are being, you know, operated by Gordon, who is himself, you know, Aboriginal or Aboriginal, you know, background, and, you know, he's able to have his business, coordinate the others that are, you know, not quite as entrepreneurial as he is, and so everybody wins. You know, he has a good business, he's got a good model, he's got government contracts to do this, and they're local. So it's, and he's using all local guys. It's, you know, really good thing. No question whatsoever.
With the shift finished for the day, thoughts turn to what hope there is for Elliot and whether for some the future may be brighter away from here.
Your daughter's gone away to a high school in Melbourne at Wesley College, right? And she wants to be a lawyer. That's the dream. That's the plan.
Yep.
How does that make you feel, or how does it make you feel that she's gone away?
Same with my other two kids. If they choose the path they want to go on, we will support them 100%. I mean.
So you'd be happy for your daughter to become a big city lawyer and have her own family living in Melbourne or whatever?
That's her choice. I'll be happy, you know what I mean? She's done something, she's followed that, and we just support her. But she knows where home is, you know what I mean? She knows her culture, she knows where she's from. That will never change.
But Gordon admits that not every youngster in Elliot is quite so fortunate.
But this community has been let down in a very big way.
What's happened, Gordon? What are you thinking, mate?
Not everyone has that opportunity.
Yeah. We've seen plenty of people who haven't.
The kids, you know.
Yeah, the kids is the problem.
It's an ongoing battle. Just hopefully we get there one day.
Yeah, hopefully. As long as you guys are working at it, you'll get there.
Dinner time, and Gordon's invited David and the rest of the group to a family barbecue at his home.
You're very cute, aren't you?
Thank you, Papa.
2 days in Elliot has been an eye-opening experience for all of the group.
From the outside, if I'd seen coverage of Elliot on the news, I'd think that place is fucking done. That's hopeless, and there's no happiness there. There's not a lot going on there at all. Being here and talking to people, I would have. It's different. It's completely different because they're real people. They're families. They laugh, and they have fun, and they love each other, and they care about each other, and they got a lot of problems. They just need a bit of help.
Some people are on welfare here, but there are a lot of people working, but they just can't get out of a rut. They're working and they still don't have a home, and the more they work, there's no home to buy. So they're people that you want to fight for. These are the people that you are not just looking for a handout. They really want support.
Time to bid their farewells, and for David to make an unlikely offer to his host.
Well, I hope you're in Sydney sometime. And
I hope.
seriously,
You know what? I will go down there just to see you.
you come and have dinner, and you have multiple scotches and whatever else we can find in the wine cellar.
No worries. Oh, here, man, the heck, gonna have you. See ya. May you be safe. You too. No, don't you stay here.
Their time in Elliot is over, and the six don't know where the next stage of their immersive journey will take them. But emotions are set to spill over as they learn of one of the darkest chapters in Australia's history. Weeks into their journey, and the group has arrived in Sydney. But still in transit, they won't be staying in the Big Smoke for long.
So how are we going? Okay?
Good.
Yeah. Up to now, I think you'd agree that it's been a challenging journey, sometimes confrontational. Now I think it's about to become a bit emotional. You're going to meet the so-called stolen generations, Aboriginal children who are taken from their mums and from their families by the state. The figures are a bit unclear. Certainly thousands of children, if not tens of thousands, who left their families, sometimes for 10 years, sometimes forever. Natalie, how do you feel about that?
I don't know the stats about how many were stolen, how many were taken for good reason. That's what I'm here to learn, but all I know is any child being taken away from its mother or its father is just tragic.
OK, David, do you accept there is such a thing as the stolen generation?
No. I think in certainly many cases it's able to be demonstrated that it was well-intentioned, and many of the stolen generation, had they not been removed, would not be alive today to talk about the experience, whether it was good or bad for them.
OK, let's just stop there for the moment. Over the next couple of days, you're going to meet some of the men and women who were part of that stolen generation, and they've invited you back to the girls' home and the boys' home where they were taken when they left their families. OK, let's go.
The men are heading to Kempsey on the mid-north coast of New South Wales. Meanwhile, the women make their way southwest to Cootamundra. For Renee and Nikki, the story of the stolen generations sparks scepticism.
I don't think it was done as an act of cruelty. I think the government at the time thought they were doing the right thing.
It is horrible, but we need to move on, and forgiving is a massive part of life.
But it won't be long before the pair's views are challenged. At Cootamundra train station, 4 members of the stolen generations are waiting for them. Their stories of how they were separated from their families decades ago still fresh in the memory.
My brother and my sister, Betty, and my brother went to school. Wasn't that far away. We were walking home and a truck pulled up and a gentleman got out and he said that he'd take us home. And of course, we were children, so we got in, but we didn't end up there. We ended up at the police station in Dubbo and we were put in the cells for the night. So you must remember, I was 7, my sister was 5, my brother was 11, but next morning they put us on a train, so we ended up here at Cootamundra. Betty and I got off the station here. And from that day to this, I haven't seen my brother. I haven't seen him since.
No permission was given for them to take us. Our parents, they had no say in the matter. They just, by force, we were stolen.
So you were literally snatched?
Yeah, so we were snatched, we were taken away, yeah, forcibly removed.
But Renee wants to know more. The reasons why the girls were taken.
Was there situations where there were some children pulled from, I don't know, like alcoholics, abuse or anything?
My parents weren't alcoholics.
I mean, how is that right?
Well, it's not right.
The thing with my family, my father was a rat of Tobruk, and he was a hero in the war. And when
he was a hero in the war?
Yes, and on the welfare report and the police report, it's got character references for Mum and Dad of good character, both workers, house is clean, plenty of food, the kids are well looked after. Why were we taken? My father fought for this country and its family and its children, but they took his kids. Why? I kept asking why.
As the women begin to uncover the past, the men are on the road to Kempsey and things are getting heated. David, keen to share his forthright views.
I think for the most part, the kids were better off. And I think that we've seen what is almost a propaganda agenda-driven type of what took place. And I also look forward to meeting today some people who say they were a part of that generation.
Have you met people before who...
I have. I've met people from the stolen generation, or from what is referred to as the stolen generation, who were entirely positive about what happened in their lives and claimed their lives were saved.
I understand that, but have you met other people? People who don't have that opinion? That were
No, I must say I haven't, but I've certainly seen them on TV in their protests and their attempts for compensation.
Surely you accept there will have been some who were wrongfully removed from their parents?
No, not necessarily. It's very hard to be the people making judgment on times that you weren't there.
The idea of white colonial baby snatching is, you know, it sounds indescribably evil. But I don't know, I just get the feeling there's a lot more to it. And I'm a hopeless flip-flopper on this at the moment, and I would really love to try and get some insights by talking to some people who've experienced this firsthand.
Dicko's about to get the opportunity he craves. A meeting with 2 members of the stolen generations at the very site they were taken to after being removed from their families.
How you going, mate?
Good, man. How are you?
Cool.
Where are we?
Yeah, this is Kinchela Boys' Home.
Kinchilla Boys Home?
Yeah, formerly Kinchilla Boys Home.
So this gate is obviously this entrance here.
Yeah.
And you're all in your uniforms?
Yeah, just grey things, no shoes, and into slave labour. You might as well call it slave labour. That's all we did here.
Yeah, what actually happened though? Where were you taken from?
From Bowral on the mission. The mission, you know, and what they did, the local coppers just come and grabbed us, you know, and just threw us in the back of the car, threw the younger sisters in the back and then told us to sit down and shut up.
Richard Campbell arrived here aged 9, Michael Welsh at 8. 2 of around 600 boys sent to Kinchilla after being removed from their families.
Do you feel able to
There
tell
were
us?
7 of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's 7 children?
Yeah. 2 youngest were 6 months old, twin, and the younger brother 2, another brother 4, and my sister, Donna, she was 5, I was 8, and my older brother Barry, he was 10.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we didn't know what was happening. I don't like remembering this, but we were put on the train and we're taken to Sydney. We were separated at Central Station. They took me and Barry, brought us up here, told us that the other brothers and sisters were going to come on the next train. Now, when we come through that gate, I knew that was the end of our lives. I knew that wasn't going to be a good thing. I didn't know how to feel, what to do. I just wanted to go home. That's all.
And once you came here, did you have any contact with your parents or family, or were they allowed to come see you? Or none of that? Oh, my God.
Were they allowed to come and see you?
Oh, I remember my father coming here once. They grabbed us, locked us up, tied us, gagged us, put us in the back office.
They tied you and gagged you and put you in the back office. What, here?
Here.
Okay.
Wow, that's extraordinary.
The women have arrived at what was once Cootamundra Aboriginal Girls Training Home. Between 1911 and 1968, hundreds of Aboriginal girls were taken from their families and brought here to be trained as domestic servants. It's not long before returning to the site triggers dark memories.
You know, good? Yeah. You right? A lot of things happened here. Not here anymore. Oh, dear.
The guests are taken to what was once the main dormitory to learn more about what life was really like here.
We were put here to be trained as domestic servants, and at 14 years and 9 months and even younger. They then done their job here, trained us to clean the wards and do the cooking and washing and that, and then they'd send us out on the farm. That was their job done.
This is the last room or dormitory you slept in before you turfed out at 14, 15.
So at what point did you realise you weren't going home?
And did you think one day I'll go home?
Well, we hoped. They couldn't keep us here forever, I used to think.
But also remember too, the staff here drilled it into our heads every day. You're here because your parents didn't want you.
Yeah, yeah.
And
oh, they were
here,
saying that.
Yeah. And they don't want you. That's why you're here. They put you here. You're no good. You're a naughty girl. And we grew up
believing that.
Yes.
Natalie wants to know if there was a more sinister agenda at play, a government policy of assimilation.
Did you ever hear of a child being told you're not Aboriginal now because you're light-skinned, or they tried to...
No, because those children came through here, they were processed, brainwashed, to be told they weren't Aboriginal.
So they thought they weren't?
Well, we
They
all
came
did.
in.
We all didn't think we were.
You didn't think you were?
No.
You're kidding me?
Yeah.
Had no idea.
In this world, we're told to act white, be white.
There's a sign out there.
Sign out. Think white, act white, be white.
And it had it on there, and you'd see it every day you came in.
There was no showing of any emotional attachments to us. Nobody ever said they loved you. And so you grow up with not hearing that word of love.
And it wasn't just kind words that were lacking. At Cootamundra, the girls were regularly taken to the box room, a place of punishment.
Sends shivers down your spine.
It does, doesn't it?
This is the isolation.
This is where we used to get bashed here.
Yeah.
We used to get bashed in here. And I've been in it that many times getting bashed. I got flogged that many times in here, this room. It just terrifies me, this room. Lots of times I just wanted to commit suicide. I just wanted to kill myself out of the way, you know. We thought it was our fault.
You're ashamed of it?
Yeah, we thought it was our fault. We didn't want to tell anyone what was happening to us here because we were ashamed.
At Kinchela Boys' Home, institutionalised abuse was also rife. Richard amongst those to suffer at the hands of predatory staff.
They took my brother away, and the management just kept me in there, and he just took over. You know, just too strong. I was only a small fella, you know. Even though I was only 10, you know, just did his thing on him. And that was a regular thing. Nearly every fortnight when he used to be drunk, you could smell it. You know, coming down the dormitory, you could smell the grog coming up, you know, so he's always coming in, he dragged me out of bed.
Richard and Michael lead the three travellers to a place of yet more haunting memories.
As a young fella, I got tied to an iron peg around the side, not to the chains where we were all fearful of.
Hold on, explain that again. There's a chain there that used to tie people.
Come in a little bit closer, I'll
It
show
used
you.
to be about that big.
There it is there, look.
And boys were chained to this tree. Is that the chain there?
Right there, mate. There's only 2 links, 1.5 links
Used
left.
to be about 18 inches, I suppose, of it that used to be dangled down there.
And what did you have to do wrong to get chained to this tree?
Anything bad, you know, just didn't make our bed, didn't, you know, do what they told us to do, such as, you know, sexual bloody things.
Didn't get enough milk out of the cow's tip because it didn't have automatic milk, suction milkers back then.
You know, we were just kids, you know, from 5 years to all the way to 14, 15 years old.
Despite what he's heard, David's still not convinced that the stories add up.
Frankly, everything that I've heard today is an indescribably ugly life, characterised mostly by institutions, not necessarily based on how they came to be here. They don't know how they came to be here themselves. So we can't draw any conclusions. They don't have any idea.
He said he was at school and he was taken from school. He had both his parents at home.
Why?
That question, why was we put in this situation?
You don't know, do you?
In the first place.
You don't know?
I'm asking everyone. You know,
He doesn't know. That's what I'm trying to tell you, Tom. He doesn't know.
Whether it was right or whether it was wrong or whether you believe it or not, it's a fact. I'm here talking to you people and telling you what they did, right? And compare it against me, the man that you see here today that's talking. That's what you need to be doing. Right?
You really think this is evidence, do you?
I think in the absence of anything else, yes, taking someone on face value is evidence. Taking something from someone who's clearly suffering from such brutality.
Dicko, I'm not disbelieving them. I'm not disbelieving them. There's a lot of confusion about what's taken place here, and their issue is
So they
wanting
might
to...
deserve to be here then?
I didn't say that. There's a lot of confusion.
Because that's the implication, isn't it?
No, it isn't.
Shit,
Dicko.
they deserve to be here.
Oh, yeah, why don't you actually come around the back and try and put words in my mouth? Because that won't work, Dicko.
Well, I'm extremely sorry that this happened to you, yeah, and I appreciate you telling us about it and sharing it with us. And I hope that you guys can find healing in a way. And I wish you luck.
We're healing together, hey, Bruce? Every day, you're a part of my healing, truly. And
This is healing us.
Because I
You
tell
know?
you,
People like yourself coming in, talking about it, argue the point, things, it's helping healing us.
I just feel sick. I feel fucking sick. What happened to these men was horrific, and I am just appalled at David's white denialism and this white blindfold that he has, this unwillingness to listen and refusal to accept anything that might be outside his worldview. I find it offensive, deeply offensive.
A once circumspect Dicko has also heard enough.
And look, I'm not saying that every single kid did not deserve to be removed from their family. Maybe there were some good cases. But in this situation, you have to really question, what was the dominant thought of white Australia when it was going through these processes. And it feels like a big shadow.
The men's time at Kinchela is at an end. But back at Cootamundra, the women are about to be faced with their most emotional decision of the journey so far. Nightfall at the old site of Cootamundra Girls' Home, and the former residents have a proposition for their guests.
We've all spent the day together, and we've shared with you, and you just shared with us, and the tears have been both ways. So we'd like to invite you to, the three of you, if you would like to sleep here tonight.
In the home.
Yes. Because it's the only way for you to fully get, I think, if you could do that for us. Have a think about it.
How do you feel?
Terrified.
All the blood drained from her face when you said that.
Oh.
Being here, as beautiful as it is around the area, it gives me the same feeling I felt when I went to Port Arthur.
I'm actually scared of the feelings that are in there, that they're going to get in me.
No, it's about your feelings, and then you'll know how we were feeling.
Yeah.
Or you'll have some idea.
We'll
you know,
never
what we
fully
were going
understand.
through. No, I know.
But
it's not something that we want you to. We want you to experience it, though.
Yeah.
If you can't walk in our shoes, how are you going to know?
Whatever you want, I'll do.
Absolutely. It's one night for us, and you had to stay here night after night after night.
That's
so
right.
if we can't
Oh, thank
overcome
you.
our little fear for one night, then shame on us, really.
We'll all
so, yes, we'll stay.
Did it?
You had an even plan all this time.
I want to
Good night.
The guests are taken back to the very same dormitory where the women once slept. And for one of them, the experience has already had a profound effect.
Walking through here today and hearing everything that they went through, you just want it to get out. You wanted to get out and wash it off and not think about it. And that's, I think, one of the biggest problems, is people don't want to think about it. They don't want to feel their way through what these people have experienced. And sleeping here for one night is nothing. Nothing.
Morning. And some have slept better than others.
Going to go to the loo, I was too scared.
Me too, I wish I got.
I thought about all the little kids that came through here, and I tried to imagine what it was like to know that your little sister was just through that window and you couldn't see her, and yeah, no, it took a long time to go to sleep.
A concern for the wrongs of the past is not something Nikki's always felt, particularly when it came to the apology to the stolen generations.
No, I didn't feel sorry on the day, but I didn't do it. And I think quite a lot of people kind of go, I wasn't there. I do wish that I had met these ladies 6 weeks before Sorry Day, and I'm pretty sure I would have felt very differently about it.
And to be honest, for anyone to suggest there's no such thing as the stolen generation...
That it's a myth.
...is now, for me, horrific. And I don't care if it's only the women that we've met. You know, that's too many.
There's one more request the hosts have for their guests.
We thought it'd be symbolic that you leave something here, that you can always remember your experiences that you've gone through. So we thought we'd give one tree to each of you. The fourth one, if you can plant that for all the women that went through here, yeah, that would be lovely.
I'd like that.
Yeah.
Huge honour. Thank you. This one
For all the
for
girls?
the Kuta girls and all the girls. Oh.
After 2 days and one very long night,
I hate saying
it's
goodbye.
time to say farewell.
Thanks for you.
Stay in touch.
With the plus,
The time of those still coming to terms with the traumas of the
when it
past
benefits you
may
or
be
what you
over.
have to do. If it was after school
But for the
programs you needed
six,
me to pick him up
the
from,
next
it wasn't a
leg of
problem.
their
If it was
immersive journey
acting classes
awaits.
and I paid for it, it was never a problem. One
Coming up
day of
tomorrow
a singing
night,
class, you want to win an
tempers
award.
flare
You're not the
as the argument
nobody
rages
wants an award for
on
anything.
over the stolen generation.
No,
Are you
but
saying
that does
that
not
all of
negate
these
the
people
fact
are
that you
liars?
took
Is
that
that what
little
you're
boy
saying,
out of
that
our
every
home where
person
he was
we've
loved?
met has made up
He
these
lived
stories?
with his father. No, he did not. His father's been battling the case for 5 years. I was allowing my son to be with you guys.
Next,
Whatever
the group
because
discovers
through his
what
legal
life is
battle,
like
you
on the
allowed him to
inside.
stay with his
new
father.
intake will
In
be
that
strip
case,
searched.
he was fed every
in
night.
jail.
Right?
And
Not
for
by
one of the
you.
group,
You was always
the
out.
stay
You have all
is
type of
longer than
babysitters.
you
I don't
bargained
know what I got. So how many
Then,
do you have? I
the
don't
journey
know. I don't know
enters
who
its
the people who
final
have my son
stage,
around.
and the
I
debate
don't know.
reaches
Well,
its
that's your
climax.
fault. Anybody
what I
my kids is
gathered is
around,
that
I'm
you're
going to know
very
that very well. Because I care
Question
that
of
much.
respect.
What kind of crap is
Absolutely, but it
that?
has nothing
Yandy
to do
tries
with
to make it
respect
seem
at
like
all.
she
It's a
cares
question
about
of
my
very little
son
regard for
more
our
than I
language.
do.
The
I
things
have
that will
sole
change
custody
you
of
won't
my son.
change me
I
because
let
I
my
don't
son
find
stay
them
with me in
relevant.
DC because I
Doesn't mean
trust
my
him in
mind is
DC.
closed
It's you,
to
Yandy,
anything.
who I have a problem with.
Every single thing I've ever did was because I love your son. Everything. Cut the crap. No. It's not. If you love my son, you would have respected his mother. Did you think to call me and let me know that you wanted to take my son seeing his father go up to jail? I don't even think that I have to call you to say that. If his father says so, if his father tells me to do something, I don't. Yes, you do. Because y'all don't have mother custody over him. Are you crazy in your mind that you don't understand that you have to ask me to take my son out of state? Are you that stupid? Listen, are you that delusional where you don't respect it?
I've always been opposed to my son going to visit any prison. If I did something wrong in my life and I was punishing for it, I don't think I would want